army, a mighty army. So at one point, David felt, he told his captain of his army to number the Israelites. He said, go take a census of the people. Even Joab, who was the captain, he was like, why do you want us to do this? And that was it. He said, go and take a census. So sometimes people can see through our intentions, because Joab, that was not the Bible says he didn't have self-control. He had anger issues. They killed his brother and he was out for revenge. He was the one that told King David in 1 Chronicles 21:3, he says, if the Lord were to multiply his people 100 times, would they not be all yours? So why are you asking us to do this? Why must you cause Israel to sin? Despite the opposition from Joab, King David insisted. So they went ahead and did the census. And they did it. The Bible says it took them 9 months and 20 days to complete the census. After it was all done, the Bible says David's conscience began to trouble him and he repented. But the harm had already been done. And God sent his pastor, Prophet Gad, to him and said, tell David to choose between one of three punishments. Say 3 years of famine, 3 months of fleeing from your enemies, and 3 days of a plague. Now, at this time, David had come to his right senses. And in 1 Chronicles 21:13-14, he says, this is a terrible decision to make. David replied, he says, but let me fall into the hands of the Lord rather than into the power of men. For God's mercies are very great. So the Lord sent a plague upon Israel, and 70,000 men died as a result. During the plague, God sent an angel to destroy Jerusalem. But then he felt such compassion that he changed his mind and commanded the destroying angel. He said, stop, it is enough. The day I think the ark was taken, I think one of them, Hophni or Phinehas' wife, was pregnant. When she heard, she went into labor. She gave birth. I think she called the child Ichabod. The glory of the Lord had departed. When Eli heard, the Bible says he was too fat. He fell. He broke his neck. He died. Because God told him, warn your sons. The same thing we saw. Because of his action, his family line lost the throne forever. The consequences of our actions can be very dire. They outlive us. Of course, good ones too, they outlive us. When God blessed Abraham, he said, your generations are blessed. He says, in blessing, I will bless you. In multiplying, I will multiply. They that curse you are cursed, He blessed. And so when we do wrong, the consequences also